Going for the best dress of the Amy Victoria Derby today. And what a race it turned out to be. It was a wide betting race, and a lot of the build-up was pretty lively there and colourful, wasn't it? But Ace High was the horse that came down from Sydney with the best form. He'd won the Gloaming, and he'd also won the Spring Champion, which is a Group 1 race up in Sydney. It's like their Spring Derby up there, but he hadn't raced for 4 weeks. He had an inside draw, but he didn't want to lead today, and he has been leading, and Ty England found himself in a strange spot. He's out wide as they turn for home with those blinkers and those orangey colours, but look at him finish off. And the son of High Chaparral was so impressive. David Payne, the veteran, brilliant trainer from South Africa, getting yet another Group 1 win for Ty England. His first win in Victoria, believe it or not, and it was the Derby, an absolute beauty. So for John Cordina, a big moment, the owner of Ace High. And have a look at the next race on the program, the Kennedy Mile. It's just full of Waller, who's got 6, Weir, who's got 2, and Hayes, who's got a couple. And 2 of those trainers join Hamish right now. Tossum started heavily in the market. So's Lucky Hustler, as you would expect. So's Sovereign Nation. Shalala amongst those of Chris Waller. Yes, 6 runners. It's a great effort by the champion trainer. So let's go down into that mountain yard. And Cheska, you like a stat, I know that. I like Tossum starting, but you're going to tell me something that I'm not going to like to hear, aren't you?
Well, Bruce, the idea of me telling you something is fairly a stretch of the imagination. But yes, he has got top weight here, and he's the last start winner of the Toorak. And the last winner of the Toorak to win this was Magari in 1982, which, my math's not great, but that's quite a long time ago. Anyway, he's got a little bit of the weight of history against him, but we know he's a really talented horse, and we heard from his trainer, who's quite confident about his chances. I think he should get a good run in the race, and he's a class horse, but history, I'm worried.
Gate 16 last start, so he was forced to settle further back than he would normally like to. Slightly better draw here. I think he'll roll forward. He'll be right in it.
Richo, Cheska talking about the Toorak. Well, Lucky Hustler 2 years ago came off winning the Toorak to run unplaced in this, but gee, he was impressive at the Valley. Yeah, he was terrific, but to be fair, he did have a super run in transit. Now, he's had some leg issues. He had knee chips removed. He had a bit of time off. We know he's a Group 1 winner. He's on the quick backup, so that's going to test his health and fitness. He must be in your calculation. I've got a couple ahead of him, though. Richard, if you run 3rd in the Doncaster and you win a Doomben Cup, you must be a chance in this, but what about Sensification?
Well, he would have been on that form, but this preparation, he just hasn't hit his straps yet. I'm wondering whether he's been looking for soft tracks. He's a noted soft tracker. He's probably not going to get that softer track here today. He gets back in the run. He's drawn an inside gate. I'm not sure whether that helps him or not. Look, he'd need to lift today, but he has the capability.
Last year, McCreary ran 2nd to Luro Main. Tavachi was 3rd. Both those horses since have won more Group 1s. How's he going?
Well, he's been going okay in Sydney. He hasn't been winning, but he's been thereabouts. He's another one who does prefer the track with a little bit of give in it, perhaps a bit more than this. Look, he gets in with a good weight today, 53.5 kilos. He has been carrying up around the 59 kilos in Sydney, so not being a big horse, I think that helps him a lot. Look, he's working up towards a win. Not sure it'll be today.
Cheska, how's your memory? Wasn't it on this day that this bloke, Tom Melbourne, ran 2nd in the Lexus trying to get into the Melbourne Cup?
Oh, you stole my line.
Oh, sorry.
That's exactly where I was going. Hi, Tom. Yeah, so he used to be more in the staying division, didn't he? And then now, since he's moved to Chris Waller, he's been going over the shorter distances, and he's going well. Second, and then 6th in the Toorak. Just can't seem to win. 595 days, hi buddy, since his last win. But if they could manage to trick him into it, he could just put his nose on the line.
Well, Cheska, we need you as a horse whisperer, because on his absolute best, he'd be winning this race. And Richard knows him so well. It's a balance between staying and sprinting, and this is the ideal trip. He just needs a soft run in transit. He didn't get it at Caulfield. He doesn't get the weight penalty as a result. He's a huge chance.
Richo, egg touch. He had the eye problem there, so now it's interesting. No Maya Classic, same distance, half the money I know, but comes into what probably is a stronger race.
Yeah, that's a good call. Now, this is the 3rd run for the preparation, so a really light prep due to that eye injury. Had an opportunity up on the inside in the Toorak and really didn't finish it off. However, James, I reckon it would be peaking today physically.
Yeah, the thing I like about our chances is Kieran McEvoy gets back on this horse. I'm a big fan of certain jockeys going well on certain horses. He's had 4 rides on her. He's won 3 of them. He's finished 2nd in the other one. That's a huge plus for her.
Jessica, you're talking about Tom Melbourne. It's been a while. Well, it's been a long time for this bloke.
Only 1,611 days ago did he last win, and that was back in Ireland. So he's yet to win a race since he's been in Australia, but I think he's earned connections over $600,000 in place money. And not only is he a non-winner, but he's also a bit of a thug, because his poor strapper, Rose, just had to be taken off with a really bleeding nose. I think he whacked her in the face, and so park trainer Ben Hayes has had to take over strapping duties.
Gee, you better run well. Richard, I'm going to say something silly. At one stage, I thought Oh My Sword might be the new Winx. She looked like being something very special.
She did indeed, and she was showing a lot. Look, there's an interesting thing about Oh My Sword's form. She's only won 2 races. They've both been first up from a spell. And the further she goes into her preparation, it seems the worse she goes. And that has been the pattern this prep so far. Look, can she turn it around? I'm not sure she's going well enough.
Shalala didn't get the run in the mile. She's here. Oh, boy, was she unlucky at Caulfield?
Oh, was she? What? And she missed out on a start in the mire, so thank God that they'd kept her in this race, because she was a sectional star. She goes into the tougher race, and James, one of the few horses to make ground at Caulfield that day.
Absolutely, and she's going to appreciate that lightweight. The other thing I like about her is Chris Roller's had her for 3 preparations. This is her 3rd. She hasn't fired in her first 2, but what he did before this preparation is he gave her 4 trials. That, I think, to me, that says he was trying to get her right before he went to the races. The way she's going this prep, he might just have her right.
Jessica, I like Sovereign Nations form, and I like him at Flemington. He's got some good stats here.
Absolutely, and I like the fact that he's got 52 kilos. That, in a handicap, is a big advantage. And I like him physically as well. He's walking around here really lovely and relaxed. He's a big strapping horse. He's got a good shine on his coat. He's also got the Norton bits, which suggests that he is a little bit keen in transit. He's got the nice barrier in 3. He can choose to get a little bit of cover and relax in the run. He's got to be a top 3 chance for me.
And he's in career best form. He's really savaged the line in the last 2 Group 1 races he's contested, and he is relishing the lightweight. Some horses go better against moderate opposition carrying a lot of weight. Other horses, they like the top shelf competition, but a lightweight, and that's him.
Jessica Sosi bombed 4th in the Derby last year. Robbie Lane sort of turned him into a sprinter miler. Look, he's a non-winner, but he's a very good horse.
I know, it's rather confusing, isn't it? 4th in the Derby last year over 2,500 metres. And then earlier this preparation, he's been running over 1,000 metres, something you definitely wouldn't see in Europe. It's quite unusual to me, but